Another function that will help us in visualizing the data is outer function. The outer function, here you see the syntax for this function. Outer is the name of the function, open, x, y, and the function that you put here. Unlike the previous function that was sec and very simple, straightforward, this one needs discussion, so we are gonna do some practices together in our studio. But just now have the syntax in your mind that outer x, y, and the function goes over there, and you can speculate that between x, y, and function something happens. And as you can see here, x, y are the arrays that we put here, because it is visualization, my friends. It is visualization, and visualization is about a collection of data. Whatever you want to visualize, you have even if you have done visualization in Excel, you have noticed that you always have a column of data, you have a row of data that you try to visualize. So please don't consider it as a complicated concept when it says X and Y are arrays, are vectors. Of course they should be, the same as Excel, that over there you also have collection of data. And here it says about function to use on the outer product, and default value is multiply. We are gonna try all of the things together. I told you, I agree, it is not understandable like sec just by reading and checking the syntax and the result. So let's do it. We start with example 1, and it says x is 1, 2, 3, and y is 4 and 5. You see both of them are vectors, arrays, and let's do it. Here we first create vector x according to the values over there, 1, 2, 3. The other one y, c, 4, and 5. Okay, and after that, we put here x and y. I leave function blank, so it will put multiply as default. We are going to check all the options until you completely grasp the idea. Okay, I'm going to run these two. So we have x and y read, and now I'm running this, and it is the result. See what has happened here. As you can see, outer is exactly the function we need for visualization. Why? Because as you remember, as you know about visualization, it is about pairs of x and y. So if you have, for example, 100x and you have 2y, so totally you have 200 x and y. Outer does this calculation. Let's check it here with this example. See, my friends, for x we have 3 values, and for y we have 2 values. Combination of these two things gives us 6 pairs to draw. Let me show you in this way. If I want to write the pairs, it would be 1, 4, it would be 1, 5, it would be 2, 4, 2, 5, and finally 3, 4, and oh, I didn't zoom it. And 3, 5. Okay, so you see, it's a time consuming type of action to create all these things. But R does it for us. Just imagine you have thousands of X and you have millions of Y. It creates every pairs of data from them. So because I had to return back to here, I removed those things that I wrote. But again, it is recorded. You can check them. So as you can see, since I have put X here on the rows, you have the um, rows related to X, and since I have put Y here, you see the columns related to Y here. So here it tells you the first X, the first Y. So what is the first X, that's the first Y? It is 1 and 4. And what is the function you want over them? It is multiply, because as you remember in the PowerPoint we just reviewed. Let me show you S12. As you can see, function to use the outer product, default value is multiply. So if you leave this part blank, it is in fact multiply. So what happens here? What happens here? It goes for every pairs over there, the first X, the first Y. They are 1 and 4. Okay, what is the multiplication of them? 4. It is here. The next one is 1 and 5, multiplication 5. The next one is 2 and 4, multiplication is 8. The next one is 2 and 5, multiplication is 10. The next one is 3 and 4, multiplication is 12. And finally, 15. So it is exactly what Otter does. Otter does first create for us in its memory all the pairs could be made out of the X and Y, and also apply a function over them. Now I have an exercise for you. The exercise I have for you, I want you to, oh, also we can check our example. Okay, my friends, make sure you got the idea about all these points, because I remember in the PowerPoint we also had some examples. So first, let's go and finish them, and before we start some other type of activities regarding outer. Okay, the next example it is discussing in this slide. It says continue example 1 by defining the function as minus. So since in the previous one we left it blank, it considered it as multiplication, but here it is telling you implicitly that you must put your function that you want to be defined between X and Y inside a double quotation mark, as you can see here. So my friends, in this example, it's asking you to do that, but please do it in this way. Before you do it in your IDE, do it manually and do it on a piece of paper, that what you expect if you put utter X and Y and minus here. Okay, as you can see, I have put minus in a double quotation mark, and I'm gonna run it if it allows me. Okay, and now here it is ran, and now we can Check it again, you can see the results, 1 and 4. So it is 1 minus 4, that is minus 3, 1 minus 5, that is minus 4. Here we have 3. 3 minus 4 is minus 1, and like that. Okay, another way, thing that you may ask about putting the functions or not, R is very smart regarding that. And even you notice that even without the default function, I didn't put the function symbol here, and it works. And now I'm running it another time to see still it works. The last example that we have is a little bit different from the previous ones. Because with the previous ones, in fact, you had an operator, but here you have a function. So before you check the rest of the video, I want you for this example, first do the example manually, so without using your IDE. Just try to consider x as 1, 2, 3, y 4, 5, but do it with 2x plus y. Okay, first do it by hand, and after that try to do it with IDE. Okay, I'm here. First do it by hand as I ask you to do. Here we have x as 1, 2, 3, and here we have y as 4 and 5. That are y. Okay, so what would be the results that I ask you to do it first? It says the function is 2 times x plus y. 2 times x plus y means here we have 6, here we have 7, here we have 8. 2 times x plus y. 2 times x plus y. And here finally 2 times 3, that is 6, 10, and here we have 11. Because as you can see, the function is 2 times x, that is 3, and 6 plus y, that is 11. I told you this function is tricky, and that's the reason I'm putting this amount of time on that in comparison to sec function that we quickly just reviewed together, and I'm sure you're fine with that. I hope so. Okay, now it is the fact. Now let's go and do it with IDE. But the point with IDE is that if you have done it and you have got error, that's because it is a function. It is not an operator that you can put it directly into your IDE. So what you should do, you first need to define this function and put this function inside your IDE. That was the reason I asked you to do it first, because I first wanted you to see the results, see the error messages before you check the correct answer here. But that's great that you have done it, and those error messages are absolutely normal because you did it according to the instruction. But I'm telling you, when you are using a function, you cannot put it directly inside outer. What you need first create and put it in outer, another function that I'm going to show you now. Here I have created the function here. You see x as before, y as before, but here, since it is function, I need to first create it. I put the name of that OF, outer function. I put the function exactly the same as the thing we discussed together last session. Please, if you have any problem with function, go and check our last week video lectures. Okay, the inputs are x and y, and the output is 2 times x plus y. Now here you put outer, and after that x, y, and here you put function equal to the function that you know. And what is the name of function? It is of. And we go through all these difficulties because it is not an operator. So now we have this, and I'm gonna run this, and after that I'm gonna run the outer function. And as you can see, the results are the same as our manual ones.